Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well, and thank you for returning to my channel. This is all done. It's all prepped up, the shower. It's a 3-wall shower with a low-profile shower. So I'm just showing you the aftermath. And just give me a second, and I'll show you how I do it. There will be a niche right in that area. Remember to always have your builder talk to the designer and the owners of the house, and they'll relay it to me where they need that niche. And it's going to be right there. And there's my Kerdi band, and the Kerdi band up the corner of the walls. And that is for my Kerdi to overlap. Now that's going to be glued down vinyl. It looks like hardwood, so there's no tile on that floor. So just notch out a little bit of that Kerdi to get through that tap. And what I do the next day is I cut that, I use that and I trace it out and I cut it. I like doing it that way so I don't pull on the Kerdi. Okay, so this is my Kerdi board. And what I do is I want to have quite a bit of a low profile. I like to have 1 inch to 1.25 inches of a low profile for my shower base. So I just use that to hold the cement in. I cut it to what I need to and glue it down, and then I pour my cement base. I do have a video of that if you're ever interested in see how I pour it. Remember, there's no tile on that floor, guys, okay? Just in the shower area. So let me just move this, and I'll show you my Kerdi flange. So you can buy this kit. It just comes with the flange and some Kerdi corners and outside corners, or you can buy a kit with the flange, the corners, outside corners, and the drain. This, we're going to go with a black drain, so I'll buy that separately, all right? And that's what comes with it in that box with the flange. That's my inside corners. And also, there's my outside corners. So they come with 4 outside corners and 4 inside corners. I'm not going to use the outside corner. I'm just going to use the inside corners. And I always buy a bulk of Kerdi band because I do quite a bit of showers. The width of that is 5 inches, by the way. So I put it around the shower base in the wall. And at the end, I put it up in the corners as well of the wall. And usually, we used to do the Kerdi band around the Kerdi niche. But now they've come with a complete Kerdi band that goes around that niche. And I'll show you afterwards, okay? So that's my 4-to-1 Mapai bed mix that I use. So it took me 4 bags to do that, all right? And that's what I use for installing my Kerdi. Schluter all set. I'm just going to put that right back over top of that drain so I don't drop anything and muck up my base. And And just give me a second. I'll take you for a walk over here. Okay, that's my all set cement, Schluter. So you mix it and you give it about 4, 3, or 5 minutes and you remix it again. But usually I prep up and then I mix it probably the third time. Okay. So grab your tape measure. Remember your width of your Kerdi roll is 39.5. But I'm going to mark 40 inches on that wall. From the shower base to that top of that wall is going to be 40 inches. Grab your pencil, put your tape on that shower base, and mark 40 inches. Because I like to have a half inch from the shower base, cement base. So and just mark all the way through and through at 40 inches. And you're also going to want to put your level against that Kerdi board, the low profile, and mark from the bottom to the ceiling on both sides. That's going to be the end of my Kerdi, the start of my Kerdi, sorry, to the back wall. And always remember, put your Kerdi board 1 inch in because you're going to address that with tile. So just grab your tape measure and take a measurement. So the corner of that wall to the front face is going to be 56 inches, but I'm going to dock off a half inch from that corner. So it's going to be 55.5, all right? Not 56. So I'm going to need 2 on each side of that wall, the right and left. And you're going to need 1 more because for the top cut. You can use 1 and use on the same one on both sides. So grab a mark on your back wall. And this here is 62 inches, but we're going to cut it at 61. Because remember, your 2 corners now, you have half inch, so 2 half inch, you dock that off, that'll give you 61. From 62 to 61. 1, 2, 3. And that third one, we're going to use that for the low profile as well as cut on the top of that wall. Going to transfer it down, okay? And I'll just give you an idea what I'm talking about. At the end of the job, when you got your Kerdi board all installed and everything, Kerdi, you just transfer that cut onto that. So I grab my Kerdi band and I pre-cut everything to get ready. And I also pre-cut all my Kerdi for the walls as well and just set everything aside. Have everything ready before you start mixing your cement, all right? Remember, I'm just going to use 2 Kerdi corners for the corner. But do your Kerdi band first, then do your Kerdi corners. I like doing it that way, as opposed to putting the Kerdi corners and then putting the Kerdi band. It's a lot safer doing it this way. So these are my 2 trowels. One is a Ditra trowel. That's a trowel for a 30 millimeter Ditra. I'm not going to use that. I just use it just to get the air bubbles out, but not the teeth. You'll see what I'm talking about, okay? And this here is my Kerdi trowel to install my Kerdi. That's the trowel I need. See how the teeth are smaller? That's for my Kerdi. Kerdi band, Kerdi corners, and your Kerdi for the walls. So this has been mixed about 2-3 times. And you're just going to want to have like a pancake batter or maybe just a little bit more loose, okay? See how it just falls nicely? You don't want to make it stiff and you don't want to make it wet. You just go in the middle and you'll be fine. And remember your margin trowel. This is pretty worn down. The ends, make sure they're rounded. Don't use a margin trowel that has a point. You can easily tear your Kerdi when you're doing your bands. So start setting yourself up and setting everything aside. And we're going to start with a Kerdi band, okay? So just run a bead of cement down the first wall, on the base as well as on the wall. I'll show you how I do it. So what I do is I just dip my trowel in the cement. Just give me a second here. And I just give it a swipe, and that's the perfect amount right there. Just run it all the way down the wall and on the base. Just like that. That's the perfect amount right there, guys. So that way you don't make too much of a mess, okay? All right. Here we go. I'm going to use my, remember, Kerdi trowel. And run it along that floor first, and any access, just start it on the back wall. Don't put it back in the pail, all right? And just do the same thing on the wall. So what I do is I fold it in half. Just like that. I have long arms. So if you don't have long arms, just fold it midway and work your way down when you're installing that. Just like that. Just start right on the front line of that shower and work your way back and use your fingertips, okay? Just to push it into the seam there, the corner. All right? Use your hands first. And then you're going to use your margin trowel. Remember, it can't have a pointy ends. It's got to be round. So I use this Dieter trowel, and what I do is I don't go back and forth, just go in and out, in and out. If you run it back and forth, you'll puncture the Kerdi. So just go in, release, push out. In, release, push, in and out, in and out, okay? And then just grab your margin trowel and just do the same thing like the first process. Make sure you get the access off of your shower base as well, because at the end there will be Kerdi on that shower base. Okay, I'm going to time lapse it and just continue doing that all the way around. Okay. Just like that. And now I'm going to overlap that Kerdi band with the Kerdi corner. I need 2 of those. One there, and one right there, right and left. Perfect. Okay. That wasn't so bad. Okay, now I'm just going to run this up my wall and start my first Kerdi, and then I'll go around. Just remember, just don't have to put too much mud, guys. Just get it all started. I'm just showing you how I do it. Sometimes I alternate using my trowel or my Kerdi trowel. So I just slap it on there and from the bottom to the top. And I just use my teeth now just to roll everything around. And make sure you hit that line. Remember that line in the front of that curb? And as well as that 40-inch mark right there. Just work it all the way through and through. So what I do is I always roll everything. It's a lot easier that way for me to do it. So I use that tip right on the top of that mark and on the side and on the top, all right? Just make sure you follow that top line and you follow that vertical and the horizontal line. Sorry, guys. This is pretty tough, you know. So just grab your knife. Put that right up against that pipe. And just cut. Usually it's 3 squares across and 3 squares going down on the side. So in total, there'll be 6 squares. Just like that. Just slowly just get it in there, and then that's it, all right? And make sure you stay on that line on the top. And use your hands, apply some pressure. Now I'm going to use my Deecher trowel. Not the teeth, but the flat part. And just going to roll it back and forth on the top and all the way down. Go up and down and apply just a little bit of pressure, okay? Use your palm of your hand and go in a circular motion, see if there's air bubbles. If you feel that little hump, just push the air bubble out, okay? Now, sometimes my builders, they'll do drywall, and my other builders will do cement board, which I don't really like doing Kerdi on cement board, so they switched it for me. But most of the times, my other builders don't put the compound in the corners and stuff. You don't need that. It is actually nice to lay your Kerdi on drywall because remember, you're waterproofing this, guys. So this has been discussed a long time ago with Schluter, probably about maybe 18 years ago. So there's no harm in doing this. Okay, I'm going to time lapse and you're going to do the same process around the perimeter, all right? Okay. So grab your level again. And I just mark. See that the drywall screws? That's where my niche is going to be in between because you need 16-inch centers for your niche. We're going to put a 12-inch by 20 niche in here. So what I do is I just mark the ceiling. I follow the. That's where my studs will be. Okay. I'll just show you what I'm talking about. See the drywall screws? You mark the ceiling, okay? So that way you don't get lost. I don't put my Kerdi niche in until when I start laying towels because I find it better gauging that way. I put it in later. I'll show you that in a video when I start tiling the shower. So again, I'm going to mark from that bottom line to the top 40 inches. The reason why I do that is because I don't want to overstep overstep with cement. My all set Schluter. I just like to keep things clean. So, and I'm going to do the same thing at 40 inches. Grab my level and go around the whole perimeter of the shower. Okay? Just like that. Mark it all the way around. Okay. Okay. We're going to start the second course around the perimeter. So when you're installing this, put your cement on and don't go on top. Go on that bottom line because you want to overlap that Kerdi. Perfect. So I'm going to time lapse this and you follow the same procedure, okay? And just cut a little hole out for that tap out. You're going to use that guide tomorrow to cut that out properly. Remember, use your hands to feel if there's any bubbles in the Kerdi. And just keep getting all the air bubbles out. If you have a little bit of air bubbles, guys, it's not the end of the world. It'll be fine. So, it happens to me. Nobody's perfect. Okay, now I use my Kerdi band because I like to overlap everything. Just like that in the corners. Okay. So what I do is I just grab my tape measure. I mark 12 inches in. It'll just give me a guideline of where I stop for my cement. And I'm going to overlap everything. I wet everything down. And I put my all set cement down. And then my Kerdi. It just gives it extra protection. So I just need to overlap just a little bit. Usually I go a little bit more for tiles, but this is glued down. So I just want to have a little bit overlap. Thank you, everyone. I hope it wasn't too bad for you. You have a good day and take care of yourself.